Hi everybody, it's Christine Marin here from Spiritual Parenting. I'm very excited to be bringing you our first installment of Video Mondays. Now I'm just going to start off in saying that this particular installment is a lot longer than I intended. It's a lot longer than future installments will be. It's about 10 minutes. I tried to edit it down, and there just wasn't anything I wanted to let go of. So I hope you'll indulge me for this week, and then my intention next week and thereafter will be to be much briefer. So I got a question from a mom, and it's about her 8-year-old daughter who might need glasses. And so this is what she wrote to me. She said, "My eldest daughter is an avid reader, and we are finding her eyesight for distance becoming weaker because she loves to read so much. I'm trying to encourage her to do eye exercises before we go to the optometrist, but she won't do them. How do I encourage her to do something that will empower her to heal herself before resulting to a crutch?" And Mom put the word crutch in quotation marks. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what Mom meant by crutch, so I asked her to clarify. And what she told me was that she wants her daughter to use her abilities to heal her own eyesight before they get glasses, because for Mom, the crutch are the glasses. So here are my thoughts on this. The first thing that I would suggest that you do, Mom, is to find a time when it's really quiet and it's just the two of you, and to go and have a conversation with her and really try to understand where she's at with these exercises and what her resistance is to them. And two conversation starters that I really, really love, that I use a lot with my own children, are tell me more and help me understand. So in your situation, it might look and sound like this. Tell me more about why it is you don't want to do the exercises, or help me to understand what it is about the exercises that you don't like or you don't want to do, or help me to understand. And so I find that those two ways of speaking to children are really, really effective and successful. It really helps to draw out from the children where they're at, and it helps us to understand them better. So now that conversation could go lots of ways, but the two that come to my mind immediately is she might say, "Well, okay, you know what, I guess I don't really mind doing the exercises. Let's do the exercises." So you'll say, "Okay," and you'll do the exercises, and you'll see where that goes from there. The other thing, or the other way it might go, is she might say to you, "You know, Mommy, I just don't want to do the exercises. I don't know why, and I don't mind if I have to have glasses." And so you'll have to decide what you do from there. But before we go on, it might be helpful to just stop and refer back to your original question, which is, how do I get her, or how do I empower her to heal herself by doing these exercises that she won't do? And the short answer to that, the short yet simple sounding but actually kind of complicated answer to that, is that we can't. As human beings, we just simply cannot make somebody do something that they choose not to do. Not without resorting to a lot of negative punitive tactics like shaming and guilting and coercing and bullying and setting up rewards and bribing. And I know that you don't want that for your relationship with your daughter. I know that you don't want that to be the essence of the relationship between you and your daughter. So that's not going to work. Not without a cost. Not without a cost to your relationship with her. Not without a cost to her spirit and to yours too. Because, you know, it really doesn't feel good to be in that place of trying to convince somebody to do something they don't want to do when they have their very own personal reasons. So this whole thing reminds me of a situation I want to set up for you. There is a connection to this situation and your daughter. And that is, so let's say Mom comes downstairs in the morning and she flips on the TV and she checks the weather and she sees it's going to be really, really cold. So she sets out a coat and mitts and a hat, and the little boy, let's just say, comes down the stairs, looks at the coat and says, I don't need a coat, I'm not wearing a coat. And Mom says, "Oh, yes, you are. I've checked the weather. It's going to be cold today." And the little boy says, "But I won't need the coat. I get outside, we get running around, I get hot, I'm having fun with my friends, and I just end up taking that coat off anyway. I'm not going to need a coat, Mom." And the mom says, "Yes, you do. I checked the weather. It's going to be cold. You are not leaving this house without a coat." Boom. Classic power struggle. And we all know that power struggles never ever serve anybody. But let's pretend that mom responds in this way. Let's say she says, okay, I'm really hearing you that you don't want a coat. Now, mom has to say this with authenticity. Mom has to really truly be good with her son not choosing to wear the coat. So mom says, you know what? Okay, that's cool with me. But you know what? I'm gonna bring the coat in and I'll carry it. And if you change your mind, let me know. So fine, they set off. They're on their way to school. And after a few minutes of actually being in the cold and experiencing the cold on his body and that particular temperature, Johnny says to himself, oh my gosh, it's freezing. And he turns to his mom and he says, Mom, I need my coat. Now here is where we have got to stop. Here's where the magic happens. Here's where I get so excited. Because depending on how mom responds, she has a chance, a beautiful golden opportunity to boost her child's self-esteem, to boost his sense of worth, to honor the learning, the experiential learning that he's just come through by actually seeing what it feels like to be outside with a coat at that temperature. And she can do really great things for the relationship. And do you know what she does? She looks to her son and she says, of course, here's your coat. And she says nothing more, nothing. She doesn't mention it again then, and she never ever brings it up again. Now, it is really easy to get into the place and the space of, I told you you were going to need a coat. I'm the one that checked the weather. I'm the one that understands how cold that temperature was. And we spent 5 minutes back at the house arguing about whether you need a coat, and now you want a coat. Okay, so when parents respond in that way, what they're actually doing is they are disempowering the child. They are actually taking from the child's sense of self and the child's self-esteem. They are actually setting the foundation for future power struggles, because what the child will learn over time, that if I make a stand on something like he did with the coat and he changes his mind, it's not safe for me to change my mind. And I know I'm just going to hear about it. So what often ends up happening is that child will just go to school being cold, because it's better to do that than to get into that situation where someone's right and someone's wrong. So we want to avoid all of that. So, okay, you might be saying, okay, Christine, I won't argue with my son about his coat. What does that have to do with my daughter and the glasses? Okay, here's the connection. So just like that little boy had no idea what it would be like to be in the cold at that temperature without a coat until he experienced it, until he lived it, until it became part of his being. It's the same thing with your daughter in the glasses. She doesn't know what it's going to be like to wear glasses. She's never worn glasses before. She doesn't know if they will or they won't impact her life. And so if she's still choosing not to do the exercises, and you as her mom, you know that she needs glasses, then you need to get her the glasses, I believe. And you'll need to let her experience life with glasses. Let her experience them, let them become part of her new way of being, let her feel them on her face and see where that goes. Now, that could go lots of ways, but one of the ways that I see, or two ways actually it could go, is she could come to you and she could say, I love my glasses. I love the way they look. They're kind of funky. And the best thing is, Mommy, I can see things far away, and they're crisp and they're clear. So in that moment, if that's where that goes, you decide how you feel about that. Or she could come to you and she could say, Mom, I don't like the glasses. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they feel across the bridge of my nose. They get in the way when I'm at recess. Can we please try the exercises? I'll do them now. So this is where we stop. This is where the magic happens. This is where I get so excited, because this is the kind of learning that we want our children to experience. Real life, real world, experiential learning. When they come to a decision or an understanding about something themselves. So you respond with, of course I'll help you. Let's get started right now. Now, once again, it's really easy to get pulled into that place and space of, are you kidding me? Now you want the glasses after we spent that money? I wanted you to do the glasses before, right? And you know, I really get that. I understand that. I've been there myself, but I know it doesn't feel good. It doesn't serve me, my children, the relationship, their spirit, my spirit. It just doesn't serve anything. So if you can parent from that place of course I will help you, and say nothing more about it, and then you'll have to just see where that takes you. You know, the exercises might work, they may not. She may choose to keep the glasses, and if she does, then I say you step back, you honor that in this moment she's choosing to wear glasses. So here's the last thing, Mom. A little bit of homework for you if you choose. I am wondering if you would be willing at some point when it's quiet to just sit and think about what it might mean for you, how it feels in your body, if by chance your daughter is going to need glasses, if she needs this crutch that you call, which for in your case is the glasses. What does that mean if she needs help? What does that mean if she wears glasses? Does it mean anything for you? Does it bring anything up in your being? Maybe a layer that needs to be healed and peeled and let to go away? It might mean that there's something inside of you that's really asking and calling out to be healed. And what does it mean when you need to ask for help? If you need to ask for something that you might think in your mind is a crutch. So, of course, only you know the answers to that, and it may mean something and it may mean absolutely nothing, but I'm just wondering and hoping that it might be worth a few minutes of your time just to check in, see if there's anything there for you, because one of the tenets of spiritual parenting is that we commit to doing our own healing work on an ongoing basis as we're ready and as we are willing and able to, because when we step forth to our true, authentic, most healed person and from that place, wow, it just ripples out and it extends out to all of the people in our lives for a wonderfully positive benefit. So I'm going to stop here. It's 12 minutes. Oh gosh, I promise it will not be this long next week. So Mom, I sincerely hope from my heart that this helps you, and to everybody else that listened, even though you're not looking at glasses for your child, I thank you for hanging in, and until next week, until we connect again, I hope you all are well. Keep those questions coming, and thanks so much, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.